Well, good. Hey, let's get started, okay?
Yeah.
So today is about soul, the sun. You familiar with it? What do you know of it?
Um,
What are its qualities?
it's a
Wait,
bit
hang on.
blue.
Let's do this the right way. I know, right? Just like the old man. Let's do this the right way. Okay? The right way is to approach it from the standpoint, hey, Sachin, welcome. Glad you could make it.
All right.
Hi.
I'm Sachin.
Yeah, right. Okay, so listen. Before we jump into what do you know about soul, what do you know about the sun, let's set a proper groundwork or framework, I should say, and get into a bit of the reason why. Why are we doing this with the various planets? Why are we connecting to the frequency of these planets? What benefit is it? I mean, it's great, right? Just doing the various movements and whatnot. Yeah, highest movements or whatever you want to call them. Call down movements, maybe. That's fine. But what's the point? What do you figure?
Yeah.
Or to go even more broad, what's the point of, cooking up various herbs? Yeah, shaking them in jars and extracting certain bits and pieces of them and working with them. What's the point of all this?
Yeah, to be able to identify different herbs, but they also relate to the different planets. So if you're missing something, you can you can go to a herb and take the tincture, and so it's got health benefits to it as well.
All right.
And also
you can tell I'm looking for more.
Yeah. You connect to the frequency of it and the vibrations of it, and you can use them.
Why?
Yes. Oh, my.
I mean, listen.
That's not using much. Yeah.
It's obvious, isn't it, that there's a great deal of detection that goes on in this, right? Detection, being able to sense things and understand what it is that you're, keeping in your aura or potentially ingesting or, those sorts of things, right? So detection is a good thing. But what was always the root of detection? Why did we ever do detection in the first place? Yeah?
It's to do with knowing what you're coming into contact with.
Yes, true. Now, what do you...
From that point of view, you can then decide if that is what you want to come into contact with, how much you want to come into contact with it.
Yeah.
So
I would agree.
Yeah. So with the work that we're doing in the planets, I can see there's two things. One is to be able to recognize what those frequencies can do. And two, to be able to decide how much or how strongly you want them to influence you, so that you're not under the dominion and the governance of it, but you're in control of how much of a particular influence seems, I said seems to fit on that particular day at that particular time for what it is that one's doing.
So now we're 2 notches up, right? We started off with the it's got health benefits, those sorts of things. The second notch up in the elevation of this is to do with frequencies, isn't it? To do with being able to detect those frequencies and being able to make conscious choices and decisions on what you will and won't mix with.
Yeah.
The third level up has to do with giving you experience with essence.
Yes.
Because the biggest problem that we run into in teaching or working into, I wouldn't even say teaching, but in dwelling in a work like this, is that we have no experience dealing with our own essence.
Can you say that again?
We have no experience dealing with our own essence.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to put yourself in a situation where you realize that there's some things about yourself that you need to change in order to evolve spiritually or esoterically? How are you supposed to do that if you have no experience working with essences?
Yeah.
Because it's the essence of you that you're talking about growing into a full, mature being. So the idea behind alchemy is like kindergarten for essence development. Yeah. What do they do in kindergarten? They get out toys, don't they? They have kids put blocks together. They draw things. Yeah. They make little arts and crafts for their parents at home. They do all of these things, right? With the physical things. I wish kindergarten kind of the concept transitioned all the way into college. Wouldn't that be nice, Sam? Yeah, you're just making things, right, all the time. But the thing is that it gets them into the essence of it. All right, and it's the same thing with alchemy. You take some herbs or whatever the case might be, and you soak them in your alcohol, and you nurture it. And you extract the pulp from it and keep the alcohol, and you fire the pulp and strain it and put it back in and all this type of stuff. What you're doing is you're practicing elevating something from its baseness to something else, something more spiritualized. And that's exactly what we do in this work as well. You see, so it's practice, because you can't just go, okay, I'm going to transform myself, right? Poof. How do you do it? You need the mechanics of it. That's why this kind of work is practical. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's practice. That's all. And if you get the side benefits of being able to increase a solar influence in yourself, for example, or a Martian influence, or a Venusian, Jupiterian, Saturnian, all these sorts of things, lunar, then all the better. But do realize that these are all in you already. Do you remember a long time ago when we started work into self-observation? It's impossible to do, right? Because no one knows what to observe. I mean, you can do it for a little while, can't you? But after a while, it just becomes like, oh, I am self-observing. Like, well, what does it mean? Yeah. But now you have more of a framework, more of a frame of reference for things that you can observe, because you can look at your behavior. And let's say, for example, that the endeavor that you're engaged in at the moment requires a solar aspect to it, right? Requires you to increase that solar aspect. How are you going to do it? Do you know what solarness is? Do you know how to turn up the volume on the sun in you, the solar aspect? Can you hear me okay? I see people straining a bit. Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, it's I'm being caught by things that is being said. So
yeah, okay, good.
Rather than just sitting here still, it's actually
pulling you in. Yeah, excellent. Well, a sun has that ability, doesn't it, to pull things into it. That's why we orbit it. Okay, so what do you know? What do you know about the sun? This is this week. Unfortunately, we're even doing it on a Sunday. We have no competing influences, do we?
Oh, yeah. Big glowing thing in the sky.
Big glowing thing in the sky.
Never
heard a more apt description. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I don't think you've recovered from last night yet.
No.
Right. Yeah.
How would you describe it to someone who didn't have sight, blind?
That's a good question.
Oh, thank you.
So if you stand outside on a hot sunny day, you can feel it on your skin.
Yeah.
And if you stand out there too long, it will burn you.
Ah,
but
true.
If you stand for a little while, and if there's a cool breeze coming along, and so you'll feel the warmth of it, and it helps plants to grow.
What else?
What are you studying?
I know.
Is it astrophysics?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
we go around the thing.
Yeah. I'm not with it today.
It's all right, mate. I'm just.
It's okay.
I'm
Listen,
Yeah.
let's move on. We all know what the sun is, don't we? We all know that it's that big shiny thing in the sky, huh? That will burn you if you stand out in it too long, but warms you if you're cold. Yeah, all of those sorts of things. What kind of qualities would you expect to go with a solar nature?
Bright.
Bright, sure. What about authoritative?
Mm.
Would you say? Yeah, but in what way?
Good question.
Authoritative in what way? You see, because there are some people that are authoritative, right? You must do this sort of thing, yeah? There are people that are like that. I don't see that. That's more of a martial aspect, isn't it?
Yeah. Thinking.
Do you know why lions and basically felines in general are associated with the sun?
No.
It's because they don't give a damn. Huh?
That's
There's a
true.
joke.
Yeah.
There's a joke. There's a joke, okay?
Yeah, go.
A dog, is thinking about his life and thinking about those who care for him. And he's like, wow, they feed me. They give me a warm place to stay. They shelter me. They love me. They pet me. They must be a god. Yeah. Same family. The cat is thinking, they feed me. They shelter me. They love me. They pet me. I must be a god. It's the difference between cats and dogs, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that cats don't give a damn. It's that they don't get wrapped up in it. Yeah. In kind of a kingly way, right? Just like the sun, happy to have these planets orbiting around, but it would be the sun no matter what, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
One of them disappeared or fell off, or some scientists claim that it's no longer a planet, like poor Pluto.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doesn't complain, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Now, what would happen if we lost Mars in our solar system? That'd be a big deal for us, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we'd shift, right? We'd have to fill in some Kepler zone that we could. Yeah. I think that's what they're called. You can correct me, Sam.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't covered that sort of stuff.
Okay, right. Fine. Anyway, that's one of the reasons. There's also this thing to do with like majesticness, isn't there? And I think I said this before. This is where it's different from Saturn, because Saturn and Jupiter both had these regalness aspects to them. But when you're in the realms of the sun, you'd be thinking more in terms of like a king priest, right? That sort of dual role in there. So yeah, creative. Another reason why cats and felines in general is the courage that they express. I saw a YouTube video or something, I think it was on YouTube, but this little cat is scaring off a big giant bear. This bear's like mulling around the porch, right? And the cat's, and the bear's like, okay, sorry, right? Yeah. They have a lot of courage, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen videos like that. Also, there was a YouTube video and news article, I don't know, about 10 years ago. Some kid was getting attacked by a dog. And the pet cat of that family comes running out, body slams this dog that's at least twice its size, chases the dog away, and then after the dog was far enough away, returns to the child to make sure it's okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so courage, right?
Yeah.
Leadership by example, not necessarily by demand. would be another trait or quality. Abundance. Abundance, having that attitude of abundance in yourself. It's
Yeah.
definitely one. You could say illumination. That person that when they walk into the room, everyone kind of unconsciously turns their head to see who just walked in the room. Yeah, that kind of presence about you. That's one of them. From the standpoint of spiritual gifts, for example, what would you expect in there? I remember we talked about Saturn was the ability to see astrally. What do you suppose is one of the gifts that goes with the solar call down attendance?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if this is right, but what came to mind was its ability to not see things distant as in
There you go.
the amount of space, but in time.
Yeah, prophecy.
Such a long planning view.
Yeah, prophecy is what you're talking about. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Not clairvoyance. That's a different quality, actually. You can ponder what the difference between clairvoyance and prophecy are.
Okay.
But yeah, prophecy. Also wisdom. Also intelligence. If you touch that essence of soul, you find it easier to learn things, right? It's like things that you had struggled with before. Suddenly just like, yeah, right, makes sense. Easy, got it. Yeah, things come fast. Things come quickly to you in that aspect.
Yeah.
What kind of shapes would you assume go with it?
Shapes.
Yeah.
Shapes before.
Oh, I didn't even draw it on the board today, did I? Go ahead, think it over.
Shapes.
There you go.
What shape's the sun?
Spherical.
Spherical. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Really, anything to do with spirals would also be a something. Things such as DNA, things such as the symbol that's on the board here, right? That's one view of it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, but any kind of spiraling sort of movement, because this is what it inspires around it. Spirals everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about how the universe actually, or how the solar system's actually moving, the sun is a rod through time with all of these things circling around it, right? You can almost see it like a DNA strand almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about colors? What colors would you say go with it?
I don't know, because I'm thinking scientifically, but not in this sort of. But the actual color is once you're outside the atmosphere is sort of like a milky white sort of color.
Yeah. Right. Gets filtered on the way in and on the way through our eyes as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But traditionally, at the lowest level, I would say gold is the color gold is often associated with it. In the atrium works, how we talked about the physical, the astral, the plane of thought, right, and then the kind of divine above that. You remember those?
Yeah.
Shake your head if you do, kind of. Yeah.
Vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it takes on different colors based on which one you're talking about. In the physical realm, you'd be talking about a kind of a gold, right? In the astral realm, you'd be talking about yellow. And then in the realm of thought formation or the mental realm, it'd almost be like a greenish yellow.
Mhm.
Hmm. So I'm going to introduce this concept kind of lightly for you, that if you're dealing with if you need a solar aspect in the physical realm, then you're going to want to go with the physical aspect, which would be gold. If you need it in the astral realm, in other words, to do with emotions, then you're going to need to use yellow. You see, like this color yellow. Hold on. Well, they're all going to come out. So let's see here. Yeah. What is this, by the way?
The sunflower.
Yeah, it's a sunflower. Yeah, they grow all over. They grow like crazy in our yard for some reason. Can't keep a good sunflower down.
Yeah.
Oops,
It's a
around here.
cute little one.
It's tiny. Yeah, yeah. We're kind of right at the end of the season. Some of them got taller than me, taller than like 6 feet, and yeah, pretty
Yeah.
large, 6, 7 feet. But
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the process, my friends.
Yeah.
You just think about it. You just get on the frequency of it. Huh? Most of you now have enough experience with this idea, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fish. I'd say salmon. Salmon, you know salmon?
Mm.
Huh?
Okay.
Boy, they're hideous, aren't they, when they spawn? When they're spawned out. Look like monsters. Sachin, you're in that neck of the woods, right?
I don't see them when they spawn. They go spawn like way up the upriver.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
see
Saw
them when
them,
they're pretty, much prettier.
Much prettier, yeah. I saw them in the Kenai area in Alaska. Anyway, what else? Auburn actually would also be a color associated with it, so not just yellow.
Okay.
I wore this shirt today because it's got some golds, it's got a little bit of greens, some yellows. It probably doesn't come through on the camera. It's probably mostly looking blue because of the light, but
Yeah, it does look mostly blue on
yeah.
camera.
I, curiously, I don't have a lot of yellow things, like things to wear. I think I have one shirt that I got in Colombia for like what we call soccer, but what most of the rest of the world calls football, right? And it's hummus, James Hummus. That's about the only yellow thing that I have. It's all yellow, right? Go play football. Well, music, and you can look this one up later, and I'll also publish it on the site. But it's Beethoven. It's, I think, the 5th piano concerto, Emperor's Concerto, I believe is what it's called. Emperor's Concerto.
I'll make a note of it.
Yeah. The 9th, Beethoven's 9th is also one, and Magic Fire music by I'm drawing a blank. Magic Fire music. You can look it up as well. It'll come to me in a minute. Yeah. So those are things that you can listen to kind of get yourself on the frequency of it.
Yeah.
What sort of musical instruments would you anticipate being in it? Wagner, that's who it is. Yeah, by Wagner. Magic Fire. Something like that. Magic Fire, I think it is. Yeah. How about French horns? I think French horns have that kind of feeling about them. As do those big, like those big brass gongs. Gong. Right? They're sort of on that frequency, solar frequency.
Yeah.
Listen, don't take my word for it. Just play around with it and see if you can identify, just like we did with the what's it called? The sage, right? That spear tip look of a sage had Jupiterian aspects to it, mostly by its smell and kind of robustness, but the Martian aspect was in shape. So you can do this. Just feel free to play around with it. That's how they did it in the beginning anyway. They didn't have some, guy standing, tell him this is what sun is and this is what Mars is and this sort of stuff. They wouldn't figure it out, didn't they?
With musical instruments, not that it's an instrument as such, but would a shofar, a ram's horn, be called sun?
I didn't understand a word of that. What? For some reason.
Yeah. Not that it's an actual musical instrument itself.
Yeah.
Would the shofar, the ram's horn, would that be gold? Would that be sun?
You tell me. I don't know. I'd have to actually listen to how it sounds.
Yeah.
To see if I get that solar feeling in it. Okay. My instinct says Martian, but that's only because I only think of it in terms of like marching to war. So I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah. I'll tell you what is a natural sound that is related to the sun or solar. In the morning when you go outside, just as the sun is rising and all the birds are going bananas and chirping, that would be a solar sound, interestingly, wouldn't it? Because they're in response to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, trees. Pine. Pine would be a good one. When back in the day when I'm sure some of you still do it, but when you used to do electrical cleaning, right? Wouldn't you do the floors first, the physical cleaning, do the floors with like pine sol or something, pine, right? It evokes that solar influence. Walnut. Walnut would be a good one. How about gemstones and things like that? There's one that's even, I'm sure you'll immediately go, yeah, aha. You'll have an aha. Tiger's eye. You know tiger's eye? Cat's eye, tiger's eye.
I'm gonna look it up. I've heard of it, but I can't think what it looks like.
Yeah. Citrine would be another one. You know citrine?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Topaz, in some respects, would be.
Citrine.
Yeah, I'd take it that would be yellow topaz as opposed to blue. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Citrine.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I thought that citrine was green.
Well, listen, right? Remember that greenish yellow? Depends on what level we're talking about now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yellow topaz.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we go through the? I'm respectful of the time, Mark and Hannah, that you shared, time constraints. So, if you've noticed a bit of an accelerated pace, this is why. Just because I want to make sure that we get it. Okay, that we get the basics of it. Shall we go through the highest movements?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, can you see this spiral?
We can, but not particularly well.
Okay. I'll try and post it up on the board, but it basically goes. It starts at the bottom. It goes in kind of a bigger circle, makes a loop, and then exits and comes out into a bigger loop. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like the other call down movements that we did, or kind of highest movements, we're going to start with that one. And generally, you're going to want to face the sun as you do it. Okay. So you can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening, you can do it at noon if you like. Yeah. All right. But you start off at bow position. Go ahead and stand if you're able.
Yeah.
Hey, Pierce, quick question. So maybe I missed this. I thought alchemy was mostly about chemistry and chemicals. I didn't realize it was motion, because if I knew, I would have tried to make more of it.
It's okay.
Did I just misunderstand?
It's quite a bit wider. It's not just about chemistry and chemicals, but it's about transformations and those sorts of things. So I'll make sure you have access to those, to the past videos.
Recordings? That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. How many did I miss? Like 4?
Like 8? 8 or 9? 7, 8,
I just moved to Nashville for a new job, and so I was probably not going to be able to join anyway. So this is my request.
You're in Nashville, you say?
I'm in Nashville, yes.
Oh, Tennessee. Okay, good. All right. So go ahead and stand if you can. Start off in bow position. I'm going to try an experiment here. I'm going to try it a bit sideways this time. Okay. And begin by drawing this symbol that's on the board there. And then come back to bow position. And now while you're still standing there, you're going to bring your hands up into this position. Okay, so your wrists are touching, your elbows are touching, and your hands are cupped this way. All right, so this is the first position in that. So again, bow, draw the symbol, and then go into this. Right now from here, your arms are going to come out to the sides, and you're going to form a triangle and look through that triangle. All right, so let's start again. I like to do things gradually and progressively, yeah? So start off, draw the symbol. Return back to bow. Hands together. Here, triangle. Looking up through there. You could call that the cosmic triangle, actually. From here, you're going to go into a position that's similar to the Greek letter phi. Okay, so from here, you're going to step back with your right leg and bring your hands wide this way and tilt your head back. All right, let's go through it again. Let's go through it from the top, yeah?
Yeah.
So bow position. Do the symbol. Good. Now from here, from this position, you're going to go back to a standing position, but this time you're going to put the triangle right in front of your chest, just like that, demonstrating. Okay. And then from here, last movement, you're going to step forward with your left leg, and I'm going to scoot back so you can see what I do. With your two middle fingers, the middle fingers, you're going to step forward with your left leg and ground them out, and then step back. All right, so you actually go down, touch the ground with your two blue fingers, your middle fingers.
If you can't touch the ground, it's all right, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. If you can't, Sam, if you can't, then touch to your thumbs.
Okay.
If you can't do that, yeah, touch to your thumbs. All right, let's take it from the top, okay?
Okay.
Little symbol. You feel that nice spiral, right?
Yeah.
Okay, forearms together. Triangle. Thigh. Triangle. Touch the ground. Ground them out. Okay, that's it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Got it?
I think so. Well,
Yeah.
with the recording, so.
Yeah, sure. With the recordings, that'll help. Okay, yeah, go ahead and have a seat. You can sit back down again.
Yeah.
So those are the movements that go with it. And not this time through, but next time through, I'll teach you the words. Yeah, like, do you remember Calciana and all of those sorts of things?
Yeah.
These all have words too. Now, someone's bound to ask, and probably I think it's going to be Chana. Where do these come from? Right? Yeah, that's your question, isn't it, in your mind? Like, what's the origin of these? You know, Pierce just comes out once a week and does the hokey pokey and shows us how to, put our left leg in and take our left leg out and all this good stuff. But where does it come from? Well, it comes from an aspect of this work called sacred dance. Okay, and these aren't the Gurdjieff movements, but he drew on them. When he's got like I don't know if you've ever watched the Gurdjieff movements or whatever, the kind of were all the rage in 1912 dance movements or whatever.
YouTube, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these, when you put them all together, so after we get through all 7 of these planets, you can do a full dance of the solar system. Do all of the movements, right, from start to finish. and you can do a call down to the entire solar system. Yeah, bring that whole essence into you. That's where it comes from. It's from the realms of sacred dance. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can add movements to it like they used to. It's a funny thing because, for the most part, Christianity, I believe, has lost the idea of sacred dance. They used to have it. It used to be part of it. Yeah, certain specific movements in a dance kind of form designed to call something in, or call something down, I should say.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Questions? Let's keep it related to this exercise.
Sure.
But yeah, questions, comments. I mean, I wrapped up about 20 minutes early, so hope you're okay with that. Now we've got a little time.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Some things I forgot. What part of the anatomy? You need to know this. Hide it behind my back. Huh? What part of the anatomy would you say goes with it?
Solar plexus.
Solar plexus? It can, sure. Yeah, good call, by the way. What else? What's this?
Heart.
Yeah, heart. You all have one of these, right? Hopefully, you got your kit. Huh? Instead of taking people apart, you can get one of these kind of things and toys. Play with it. Know what's in you, right? Know what you're made of. What else? Eyes. Eyes are another.
Yeah.
Yeah, the windows to the soul. What shines through a person's eyes.
Yeah.
You do these exercises correctly, and you'll feel that radiation coming out of your eyes. This one, by the way, I find to be very invigorating. When I'm feeling dull or in need of a kind of a pick-me-up or a boost, this particular one's very invigorating without the poundingness of the Martian ones. So it's good to know.
Yeah.
Especially the grounding out part when you touch your fingers to the ground. Ground out that blue aspect. You know what you're doing, right there? You're discharging your blue. Brings more yellow.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what you're doing. You're grounding out the blue, you see, just like completing a circuit to the ground, to the earth.
Yeah.
Blood circulation, not the blood itself, but blood circulation, the aspect that it circulates, like our symbol, is a solar aspect. In astrology and whatnot, it's also associated with the upper back. Semen, actually, would be part of it. Are you there? Are you on the frequency?
Yeah.
Can you sense the answer me this honestly? Can you sense the difference between each of them? Right, because we've gone through Saturn and Jupiter and Mars, and now the Sun. Right? Did I miss any in there?
No, it's just those four, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That we've done so far. Yeah.
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 I'm struggling a little bit to get on the frequency of the Sun.
Yeah.
It might be because I'm just a bit spaced out today. But yeah, I'm struggling a little bit.
I found that the Sun was quite strong. Feeling strong registration much quicker.
Talk about the movements?
No, just that. Yeah, when we did those movements,
yeah,
it took quite a few goes of the other ones, but to start to feel it. But that one, you could start to feel it, at least for me, quite quickly. Now, that isn't saying that it's not going to get stronger as work into it more, but the feeling today is stronger.
Good. I'll give some advice in that regard too. When you do it outside, and preferably do it outside, and in the sunlight itself. But when you do it outside, I noticed this just recently, actually, in practicing this. But you can almost drink in the sunshine. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like you're drinking, like you're drinking it. That's the only way I can say it. Doesn't matter how many times I say drinking; it's not going to be a different word. But that's what it's like. Yeah. You actually, as you're doing it, right, you're just kind of just pulling that energy into you and let it fill your cells.
Yeah. Well, that particular movement is right in front of the throat, so it's in that drinking area.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Good observation. Don't look at it, by the way. It's too much. Yeah. If your triangle happens to be right where the sun is, it's okay to close your eyes. Okay, please don't come back blind, and then I'll have to explain what the sun is like to someone who can't see easy. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy this.
Yeah.
Get some headway with it. Try and get on the frequency of it. Don't give up your other practices. Yeah. Saturn and Jupiter and Mars. Don't give those ones up. Especially get practice with them, right? Because then you'll have that, you'll be able to do the dance of the solar system by the end of it all. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions?
Can't think of any.
In the tarot?
Oh, good question. Right. Tarot. Sure. What would you say?
Emperor?
Yeah. I would say that too. Right. Emperor card. Boy, that's even coming through blue. See, now you can see how everything is turned blue on my camera.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, that's a very strong yellow. Let's see what else. Here's one. Actually, this is a better one. There's two, actually. Okay, card 19, yeah. Can you see? I'll post images of these, okay? It'll be easier. And then this might surprise you, but yeah, sure. Resurrection.
Can't see that one very well.
See it. It's too much light.
Okay. How's that?
Maybe turn it a little bit so that we can see without the light shining on it.
Let me
just turn it a little bit different direction, like left or right. There you go.
Oh, I got you. Okay, right.
Yeah. What is this? It's very.
That's one. Card 20. Resurrection, they call it sometimes. That'd be a surprising one, but I think that definitely fits. Again, it's about detection, right? It's about getting on the frequency of it and being able to see it. Yeah, a really good exercise in if you go take yourself out for a walk now and then, so look at various plants and try to ascertain which one they belong to. Now, of course, you don't have the full spectrum yet, but you got 4 of them now, don't you? So you're more than halfway there in the ability to do that. Yeah. That's how they did it anyway. I guarantee you they did not eat their way to herbology, right? You imagine just walking in a forest, nope, because you keel over, right? Next herbologist comes along and eats the funny looking mushroom, and he keels over, and that's not how they did. That's not how they invented it, is it? Right? They could use their faculties, couldn't they? They could sense it. Not only just not what's going to kill you, right? But what it's actually would be good for. That's quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you can eat ginger and have no idea that it helps your stomach or your digestion, for example. Turmeric. Yeah, those sorts of things. So detection's important, but in the end, my friends, it comes down to detecting you. Because then you'll have more insight. You'll be like, I don't have enough Saturn in me, for example, or I don't have enough Mars in me. This is all about balancing. You can have all of these aspects. Once you're a complete cosmos. You're a complete solar system. And it helps when you start getting them in your aura too, for example. But you can have development. More than that, isn't it? Yeah. All right. I'm going to let y'all go, okay?
Okay.
Have a great rest of your weekend, and see some, if not all of you, next week.
Yeah.